All right, welcome in everybody. Today we have a fun and exciting topic. It is a topic that I have been hyper focused on as of recently, and it has allowed me to experience more joy, more freedom in my life. So hello everybody that is joining us today. It is very, very exciting. And I get, the pen clicking. Okay, so pen makes me feel smart. So I want to start off with sharing a little story. And I actually shared this on my social media recently, but I'm going to share this again. And today we're going to have a little Q&A. So you guys can ask any questions that you might have in regards to healing our inner child. But the other night I was in this dream state, right? I was in this dream state. And this dream was actually like incredibly relaxing. I felt as if I was like an aspect of my heart was opening up. And I was actually holding little baby Nikki, like little baby me. Me now was holding little baby Nikki. Yeah, little baby Nikki. And in this dream, like I was on the verge of tears. I basically like broke down in tears in this dream. Now you would think like, wait, are you sad? Like you have in this dream, you're holding little baby you. Were you sad? No, I was crying almost like tears of relief and joy, because when we first arrive on this planet, we are so connected to that highest expression of self. We are so close to the realm of the non-physical, this place of unconditional love. And in this dream, I was crying these tears of relief to remember that version of me is still me. That version of me. And then I woke up and I was actually really disappointed. But in the morning time came around and I felt this pull to continue this exercise, right? I had this profound dream where I'm holding little baby Nikki, and I felt pulled to engage with different parts of me from different stages of my life. So I started to like connect with me at 5 years old, okay, at the age of 5. I started to connect with visions of me at the age of 8, in the age of 10, in the age of 11, in the age of 12, and then like 14. And I began to just strengthen my relationship with these pieces of the self. And I can feel this, like, I didn't even realize like these fragmented pieces of the self were there. And I felt this whole and complete feeling as I began to love on these versions of myself. And so I share this story with all of you because I think so many of us, as we progress on our journey in life, we forget that there is this inner self or this past self or this inner child that is still you. And we have these experiences in their lives. So for an example, so hear me out on this. Okay, so for me, I remember as a kid being incredibly shy. Like I remember just feeling so shy as a kid to the point where my mother would bring me to school and I would be pretending to sleep in the back seat of her car, thinking she would think I'm sleeping and hopefully not take me. This was like kindergarten. And then in kindergarten, you know, I couldn't go out and play recess with everybody. And I had this like extremely shy part of my personality. Anyway, bits and pieces of this version of me carried through elementary school and things of that nature. And at around 16, I'd sort of developed this social confidence, okay? And that's a whole different story that I've shared frequently, but I had this like sort of awakening. My point with this is this, okay? When I had and I activated this certain level of confidence within myself, I thought that those pieces of me that were shy, right? The little kid Nikki that kindergarten that was shy and like in grade school that was shy, I was sort of like thinking that side of Nikki wasn't great or something. I was like, well, the confident Nikki gets what he wants. The confident Nikki lives a life that feels free and that feels joyous. And this other part of me that is sensitive and that is silent and that is to myself, I started to just unknowingly, sort of on an unconscious level, develop a resistance towards that self. And that caused me to not be connected with who I really am. It caused me to be fragmented from the whole and complete version of myself. And then at around 17, I had this dark night of the soul where that version of me was showing up, but I was denying wanting to see it. Meaning that shyness, that vulnerability, like all of those pieces of the self that didn't feel extroverted, that didn't feel confident, they started to show up. And it wasn't until I remembered that, okay, I have to love all pieces of Nikki, not just the extroverted pieces of the self, not just the confident aspects of the self, but also the pieces of the self that feel a little bit shy, that feel a little bit reserved, that feel a little bit, not a little bit, feel a lot of it sensitive. And so I share this with you because I want you to think about your own life. Where in your own life did you experience something and you begin to almost look down on that version of you? You experience something that caused you not to feel great. And now you look back at that version of yourself and you almost look down on that version of yourself. But what if I were to tell you that version of you is deserving of love, is craving your love? And when you begin to love those pieces of the self, you're going to start to feel whole and complete again. Now here's what's great about this. When you begin to feel whole and complete within the self, you broadcast this coherent electromagnetic field, and you're going to start to attract more people and experiences that are a vibrational match to that feeling. So it's really interesting. I mean, like, it's funny because this game about like the spiritual path and this awakening and connecting more with who we really are, this is truly a game of remembering the self, like getting back to that inner child that was so free, that was so connected with their intuition, that was so connected with who they really are. It's about preserving that self is really what this is, because your inner child, like, think about when you're a kid, you're wild, you're curious, you're intuitive. And as we progress on our journey in life, we forget about that part of the self. We abandon that part of the self. We begin to give sort of our direction in life to others that don't necessarily know more than us, don't know what's best for us, but they are giving us direction because that was passed down to them from this place of fear. And so really the spiritual path and this, reawakening to who you really are and this remembering adventure is truly about preservation of that inner child. It's the remembering of that inner child. I have moments now in my life where I get so goofy it's not even funny, because I'm remembering it is essential to connect with that wild inner child that is playful, that is goofy, that is in this sort of flow state of laughter, of play. Who you really are is playful, is abundant, doesn't take things so seriously. So many of us take things seriously. We take things like, we think the obstacles in life actually, we make them mean something about ourselves, when truly all of life is play. And adversity in our life gives us an opportunity to tap into this sort of frivolous, joyful, let go of self. We have a beautiful human being. This guy's an absolute gem. Hashtag Team Nikki. Oh my, I gotta get t-shirts that say that. How's it going, brother? Miss you and love you. So he's what we call a beauty. Oh my gosh. The literal feelings are the literal same, but Justin knows how I feel about him. So yeah, it's a preservation of this inner child, the inner self, to know that who you are is playful, who you are is joyous, who you are is abundant. And every single obstacle is a catalyst to bring you back to that play, is a catalyst to bring you back to life, is an expression of laughter, right? It is this thing that we've all learned how to take this so seriously. So what we're gonna do is, if you guys have questions, you guys can go ahead and ask them in the chat. And we're actually gonna get into a little meditation at the end of this. So if you guys have questions, Kiana said, true that, Justin. We just have like beautiful human beings in the chat, which is just so fun and incredible. So you guys can go ahead and write in the chat any questions that you might have. And now tomorrow, we're hosting a free webinar. That's gonna be all about healing plus loving the inner child. So you guys can join that. It's gonna be hosted on Zoom. Okay, this is sort of a little preview for tomorrow, but we're gonna be talking all things healing plus loving your inner child and how to begin to live a life that's in accordance with your play, with your abundance, with your purpose, and things of that nature. So yeah, you guys can register for that at the top of my page. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. And if not, that's totally okay. We will get into a little meditation here that's gonna help you connect deeper with play. Like when I think of like any happy memory in my life, I'm goofy. I'm like playful. I am out of the focus of everything going on in my mind. Like when I think of good memories, I am literally, in the best way possible, out of my mind. I am in and connected with my heart. And so connecting with your inner child is connecting with that your heart, your play, and all of that. Okay. So Kiana asked amazing questions. Okay. How do you bring more play and flow into Kiana, you're so awesome. Okay, let me catch my breath here. How do you bring more play and flow into your day while also making sure you get your shit done? You know what I mean? Like a good balance. I absolutely know what you mean. So what I would say is sort of and what has helped me quite a bit, Kiana, is seeing if you can weave play throughout your day in getting shit done. Okay, so for me this morning, didn't want to go to the gym. But what I remembered is that I can weave play into that. Now play can just be a mindset. It can just be like when I create clarity within my mind and I sort of have like a meditation on the drive on the way there, which I didn't do that today, but like I've done this before, I start to feel playful. But today I just played a little bit of music. And I remember that it's sort of an intention, Kiana, like see if you can intend that your life is play. Like I don't even like to say like I have work to do today, like if I have work I need to do, because I like to think of what I'm doing in the world as play. Like this moment right here, the more I relax, the more I get outside of the analytical mind and my thoughts and things of that nature, the more it feels like play. Like the more it feels joyous. And so I think what a lot of us have forgotten is we've separated work and shit we need to get done and play. But what if we could bring these two worlds together? What if we can bring our inner child, which is playful, joyous, abundant, into the activities that we're participating in? And that is how we begin to experience more abundance. Because if we're always feeling as if I have to get shit done, which that's okay because like there is shit we have to get done. But if we're always sort of tethered to that mindset and that perspective, we're going to continue to feel like we have to get shit done. Like instead of realizing we can bring play wherever we go. Like I remember as a kid, all the activities I participated in felt like play to me. Like all of them. They all just felt like play. So it's a really great question, Kiana. So if you guys have any more questions, Kiana jump-started us, so way to go, Kiana. Feel free to write them in the chat, okay? Cool. And then again, tomorrow, we're going to dive even deeper into this in our Healing plus Loving the Inner Child webinar, which you guys can all join and register at the top of my page. Okay, so... Okay, let's see what we got with questions. Okay, so let me see. I had something else that I wanted to share that's coming to mind. Let me see. What was I going to share? Okay, we have a question until I remember what I was going to say. If you disassociate as a child, how do you recall memories, traumas to heal? Really beautiful question. So what I did the other day, right? Like I had this dream that I was, holding like little baby Nikki. And I wasn't pulling up specific memories. I was simply just imagining child baby version of me, right? So like, if you can get an image of you at 8 years old, 6 years old, even 13, 14, at those ages, just imagine yourself hugging and loving on that little child version of you. Because it's not like, it's always you there. Your spirit, your higher self, your soul is evergreen. It's always there. The physical form changes, right? Technically every 7 years, all of it is changed. And there's a progression and more of a remembering of you, but I guess maybe not more because you're super connected to you when you're a kid, but life is simply, it's always you. My point is that it is always you that is there. And so if we are denying, neglecting, and resistant of our past experiences, of versions of ourselves when we are a kid, we are going to be carrying that. And if we subscribe to this law, okay, I almost said idea, but it's a law of the universe that all of life is reflecting our energy and our frequency and our vibration. if we are holding on to this resistance from when we were kids, right? Like we felt ashamed of ourselves as a kid or disassociated as a kid, and we're holding on to that energy, we're going to be attracting a life experience that is reflective of that. Like as a kid, I always felt like I was on everyone else's time. There was times as a kid I was on other people's time. To this day, that reflection still follows me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I always feel like I'm waiting for somebody. I'm waiting. That all has to do with the frequency and vibration that I harnessed as a child. So I hope that answers your question. Really great question, okay? So if we have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, okay? And in a second here, we're going to get into like a little meditation that is hopefully going to help you guys. It's going to help you connect deeper with clarity. When you connect deeper with clarity, you connect deeper with play. When you connect deeper with play, you connect deeper with your inner child, the essence of who you really are. Okay? Okay. So we're going to get into a meditation. Okay, so everybody that is here, feel free to get comfortable. Okay, you can get comfortable, you can close your eyes. And this is only going to be like a, about 4 to 6 minute meditation. And you guys can go ahead and focus on the breath. The breath is one of the greatest expressions of gratitude that we have in this world. The breath, the breath, the breath. And as you focus in on the breath, I want you to see if you can set the intention to connect with sort of this energy of wherever you feel we come from. So that source energy. And I want you to imagine that golden white light from source makes way through the Earth's atmosphere and fills every single cell in your physical form from head to toe. And now I want you to set the intention to connect with the center of Mother Earth, where a pink healing light exists. And you're going to imagine that this pink healing light makes way through the earth and fills every single cell in your physical body from toe to head. And I want you to go ahead and repeat these affirmations within your mind. I am clarity. I am play. And I want you to see if you can tap into this sort of expression of play and laughter in that affirmation. I am play. I want you to see if you can feel the essence of your innate joy. I am play. I am clarity. As you continue to focus on the breath, I want you to repeat this within your mind. I am love. And I really want you to see if you can connect with the feeling of this affirmation. I am I am love. I am brilliance. And I want you to repeat this one once again. I am play. And as you say that affirmation, I want you to connect with a memory or some piece of evidence in your life, proof that supports that affirmation that you are play. I want you to think of a time where you were laughing hysterically. Maybe you're with yourself, maybe you're with friends, maybe you're with your pet, maybe you're scrolling on social media and you're just laughing at like cat videos. I want you to say this affirmation, I am play, and then find proof to support it and really immerse yourself in that memory and in that knowing. I am play. I am clarity. so it is. And you can go ahead and focus back in on the breath. And in the next 4 breaths, you can come on up and open your eyes. Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to Planet Earth. I'm happy to have all of you here, and I want to thank you guys for just joining this last minute live. And it's so exciting to have all of you here once again. We're hosting an official free webinar on Wednesday that's all about healing and loving your inner child, where we're going to dive even deeper, even more so than we did today. And so you guys can register for that at the top of my page. And I just want to thank you guys for being here, for being wonderful. And yeah, I will see all of you beautiful souls on Wednesday. Alrighty, friends, stay awesome and authentic. Peace.